Alright, hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Dorothy. I'm your professional astrologer, and you can find me on the web at nhastrologer.com. And I'm having a special, and I would like you to, this is what it is, go to my website and sign up for my newsletter that goes out twice a month. Has everything on it you would ever want to know about what I'm doing. And if you sign up, what I will be doing over the next few months is choosing 3 people every month for a free 20-minute astrology session with me, and this is a phone session. But if the response is huge, then I will pick 3 a week. So come to my website, join my subscription, and good luck. So today I want to talk about December and what's going on for December. So we have this major cardinal T-square going on. And so the beginning of this, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit, and then the next little piece will be more specific to each zodiac sign, okay? So just listen in. You won't even know I'm doing it. I'm just going to cut and paste. So I want you to know we have between December 4th and December 10th, and that's the intense period. We can feel it a little bit on either side. We have Mars in the sign of Libra. Mars in Libra can be passive-aggressive. Our actions, we're looking for our actions to be controlled and balanced, but they typically don't feel controlled and balanced. That's why we're looking for that to happen. All right? Then we also have Mars making a square aspect to Pluto right around the 8th and 9th of December. And when Mars squares Pluto, this is obsession, and this is controlled power is what we would call it. But we're looking for action. Mars in Libra wants action. Pluto in Capricorn is looking for those deep-rooted changes, those deep-rooted transformational pieces. Now, I know we're in Sagittarius time of year, but it feels very Scorpio to me, because we do have some Scorpio stuff still lingering. So this means that whatever was going on and whatever is, transforming and coming up and out of us, like this, deep volcano, things are coming up and out, we can really feel it rumbling right now. Allow this healing process to happen. Allow this process to erupt. Because on December 10th, Mars will be in an opposition to Uranus, and that is quick, sudden shifts and changes. All right, so that's what we have. Mars and Uranus are in an opposition to each other, and then Pluto is, whatever direction, doesn't matter, is in a square to both of those. And Mars is the faster moving planet, so it's the one triggering everything. So that means we're seeking and searching for balance now that we've gone through some sort of deep and very deep transformation that has come from very much within and is coming up and out. All right? Allow this process to happen so you can heal. Deep things from the past will be coming up for all of this. So that's the hardest part of all of what's going on with this cardinal T-square. But when they're cardinal, that means it is about shifting and changing, and we're going to allow that to happen. Now, to finish off this general piece of what's going on in the middle of December, actually it's the first 10 days of December, we also have Mars is making a sextile to the Sun in Sag, and so the Sun in Sagittarius is making connections throughout this T-square, and they're positive connections. He's trining Uranus and a sextile to Mars, semi-sextiles to Pluto. So the Sun will help to put that silver lining and give us opportunities if we allow the transformation to happen that this T-square is asking of us. Because Mars, Uranus, and Pluto are the heavy hitters when they're together. It's like the mob coming through and making a change. It really is. Breathe, stay centered. If you practice yoga, it's just like, standing on one foot. You feel that straight, calm, centered, no matter what's going on around you. Allow these shifts to come up and out. All right, so on December 4th to December 30th, we also have Venus in the sign of Scorpio. So it moves in there on December 4th. When Venus is in the sign of Scorpio once a year, usually about 3.5 weeks, we get to focus in on our love relationships and what is going on there, and also the things that we love. So let me address both of these, and then we'll get to the house that it is for you. So, love relationships, how we love, what we love. When it's in the sign of Scorpio, when Venus moves into Scorpio, she can become very obsessive and very passionate. That's a fun piece. Or jealous. Not so fun. We can feel there's something going on under the surface if we're not open and honest all the time. there is a period here where our relationships, our love relationship especially, is going through a deep transformation. There needs to be a look at what's going on behind the scenes, what's going on under the surface. And if you're feeling uneasy, excuse me, if you're feeling uneasy, then it's in a relationship, then it's time to address this, because transformation must happen. It will happen one way or another. It'd be good if you were to initiate it. Because if you're feeling obsessed or jealous or uneasy in a relationship, those are all based in fear. And we don't want that. That's not a healthy way to be in a relationship with anybody, especially ourselves. So work on that and go through that process and that internal check to see where your love relationship is, and then have the conversation if you need to. We have Mercury coming into Capricorn soon, and I'll get to that in a second, and that will help. But, so you can say also, well, I'm not in a love relationship, so how am I going to use this Venus in Scorpio? Well, the way you're going to use the Venus in Scorpio is through the things that you love, the things that mean stuff to you, you know, the things that you're passionate about. Usually it's how we create beauty, or the beauty we have around us, whether we love to decorate, we love to paint. My Taurus piece, I love to collect rocks. I got a ton of them over here. Someday I'll show you. You know, and so what do you do with that? You know, that Venus in Scorpio helps us to take our skills, our talents, and transform them into something else. So that, to me, it sounds like a hobby. So we take a hobby, something that we really love. Hobbies are things that we love to do. And if we choose at this point in time, we can actually take that and transform that into a stream of income. Because that's what that energy is all about. So take these energies and focus at it. And so it is in what house? Aquarius. So this all goes on in your solar 10th house. And boy, what does that mean? That means there is something going on in your career. There's a big shift and change in what you're known for and what you love to do, what you're known to do, that career area. It's also where we're very public. It's our most public house. So it's how people see us out in the world. So that's going through a deep transformation as well. So whether it is the Venus in regards to your spouse, and that's what that 10th house would be, you know, people see you as a husband or a wife, and if that's going through a transformation, or if it is what you value in your work and how you want that to change, because that needs to change, whether you need a big boost in income or you've just lost it and you need to find something else. The transformation here can be profound. So allow that to happen, and know that when these transformations happen, you know, they're kind of timed, and so it's an opportunity for you to clear the deck of what doesn't fit, and you can plant new seeds for what's going to be better for you. That new moon will be on December 11th, so subscribe and come back for that. All right, and listen to that, and that will give you a lot more information. It's not part of this forecast. So all of December, you've got this big transformational piece going on in your career and or your marriage or your relationship partner. Okay? All right. Moving on. That sounded too serious. I didn't mean it to sound serious. I was just trying to get through this. My throat's getting sore. I've been talking for a couple hours. But December 9th, I'm going to talk about speaking. Mercury moves into the sign of Capricorn, and that's how we communicate, whether it's verbally, written, thinking. It's our moving around our local neighborhood, back and forth to work, things like that. It's moving into the sign of Capricorn, so that means that we're going to be more focused in our thinking, more controlled in our speaking. We're going to want to feel more like authoritative when it comes to, how we're communicating to the world. This goes on in your solar 12th house. And so what that relates to and interprets into is wisdom. That's internal wisdom. And creating yourself a habit or a routine so you can do those things that are related to wisdom, which is creating a better habit so you can sleep better, or creating a habit of meditation, listening to music, things that are all about spending time alone and going within. And if you need to study and to learn how to do this, then you go. Because if you have Capricorn in that sector, it might not be easy for you to meditate. You might say, I never dream. That's okay. You can say that. But what you can do is learn about those things and see if you're able to allow a little wiggle room and a little freedom, okay? That's what I want you to do with that Mercury in Capricorn. All right? Now, on the 19th of December, Mercury makes its annual connection in conjunction to Pluto. Pluto's been in your 12th house for a lot of years now. So you already know that your spiritual beliefs are shifting and changing. You're just not sure exactly what they are yet. You might be sure, but most of you won't know. When Mercury makes that quick hit, all it wants you to do, all it's doing is it's just going to give you, it's going to be like somebody opening a book and say, here, read this. And you're going to get to have a quick little look at something, and then the book closes and you're going to get to go and use that, whatever that little piece is. So it's just a tiny little piece of information that's going to be for you. So you can work on that and learn that and study that. So you're able to open up your intuition more, open up that internal spiritual piece, maybe even learn how to relax a little bit more so you can dream and understand the dream time. So it's a really interesting way to use this Mercury in Capricorn conjunct Pluto in your 12th house, okay? Now, at the same time, the sun moves into the 12th house. So when the sun moves into the 12th house, well, that will make sleeping a little more difficult. It happens this time every single year. The sun is always in the same place on any given day every year, within just a few hours. All right? So when the sun moves through that, it's going to illuminate those things, those hidden things, the hidden things that keep you from being intuitive. But it's intuitive, but we have beliefs. It's going to help us shatter some of those beliefs, because basically it's like taking a big flashlight into a closet that has no overhead light, and we get to start shining the light on things that we don't get to see very often. So it's going to Mercury, Pluto, and the sun in that sector for the month of December, and actually for December, when is that? The solstice on the 21st, when the sun moves in there. So it'll be all the way through January pretty much. You're going to be illuminating this dark area of your life, so you're able to see certain things and learn about yourself and step into a more intuitive life, or at least a more intuitive practices for yourself. It helps to learn about yourself. It really helps you to learn about yourself. It's fantastic. I want to move on to the last two things I'll talk about for December and for this year. On the 25th is the full moon in the sign of Cancer. Yes, Christmas Day. We have the full moon in Cancer. Subscribe to this channel and you'll be notified when the new moon on the 11th and the full moon on the 25th, when those videos are posted. That's if you're a member or subscriber. All right, so that just means for Christmas we're just going to have this great opportunity just to go home or have family come to us. I'm loving that fact that the Christmas Eve and Christmas Day the moon's in Cancer. So we're going to be stuck at home, or we're going to travel somewhere to be with those we love, whether they're genetic family or our tribe, people that we sort of pick as family. It'll be a good opportunity for that. Okay, it'll be a nice day. I want to finish up with New Year's Eve, because on New Year's Eve the moon and Jupiter are conjunct really close to where the eclipse was on September 13th. And that eclipse on September 13th, really could have triggered a lot of things for you. Personally, I had nothing going on that day, but it was a month later that it triggered. So when the moon comes around every month and it hits that sensitive spot, we might feel some activity going on where that eclipse was. This goes on in your solar 8th house, so there's more transformation for you. That eclipse happened in that 8th house, and that just means that there's a lot of transformation going on in things that are relating for you to what your daily routine is about, because it's all that Virgo energy, and how you'll use, what am I thinking here? I kind of got stuck on that one. So the final aspect I'll talk about for the year is that moon conjunct Jupiter. It's right near where the eclipse was on September 13th. And so when we have that going on, what we really want to look at is just like, has anything been going on every month right around that date, right around the 13th. I know this is December 31st, but Jupiter has been moving over the point of that eclipse for a while. And when the moon comes over and triggers it, that just means we're going to get to see some of the things that eclipse brought up on September. But since it's Virgo energy, it also focuses in on the daily things that we want to do, or the daily things that we don't want to drag into 2016. So we have an opportunity on New Year's Eve to, honestly, it will come up. We don't have to really do much to focus on this. These things are really perfectly natural if we're paying attention. Things, we'll get to, reminisce about the year. There we go. I was lost for words there for a second. We get to reminisce and realize and look at what we want to bring into 2016 and what we don't. That eclipse point triggered something in September, and throughout these last few months, we've been able to really realize what we need to let go of and what we don't need to let go of, and what we want to bring with us and what we don't. So our New Year's resolutions, and this is for everybody, the New Year's resolutions should not be any resolutions, because nothing's going to stick right now because we're in a waning moon phase. But what we should do is just make sure we realize it's like what we want to leave behind, and what we want to just say, thank you for being part of my life. Thank you for the lessons. I love you. Goodbye. And we do that, and we continue to do that. And every time things come up, I'm the same as everybody else. I can think things through too many times. And every time I do, it's like, okay, I love you. Goodbye. I love you. Thank you for showing me that lesson. I'm all done with it. Thank you. And I keep doing that, and finally those thoughts stop coming up. They really do. Eventually they stop coming up. You use love to make them go away, pretty much. And so I get that. And so try that practice yourself. If something keeps coming up, just say, thank you for that lesson. I love you. Thank you for that lesson. And move on. All right, I'm going to leave you with that. And thank you for coming here every single time, whether you do or not. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I'll just leave you with that. Come to my website and subscribe to my newsletter, and I will enter your email address into that competitions over the next few months. I'm going to give away some free readings. The info's in the beginning of the video. Go back and listen. Thank you. Blessings. Aquarius. Namaste.